feminism still relevant in society today?
Feminism started out as women's rights. It has skewed into something entirely different than what it was. Modern feminism doesn't serve as much of a purpose as the original women's rights movement.
Do you think feminism today hurts?
Okay, here is why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem...
Feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems.
It's your girl Annie. Today I want to talk about feminism. I mean, women are reverting. They are taking a U-turn from feminism. And everyone is wondering why. Because there's been so much backlash. There's been so much resistance to modern feminism. Feminism has evolved, has morphed into this monster, according to some people, according to some women, according to men. And feminism has affected men's confidence in approaching women. That's what they claim. Feminism has also made women to have a sad life. And it has also pitched women against women. So this is what people are saying. It's not my thoughts. But in order for us to get more clarity on this, I want us to look at these videos. I've gathered a couple of videos of people, women, men, talking about feminism and how it has affected modern day dating, modern day relationship, marriage, and relationship dynamics as a whole. So without much talk, let's take a look at this video.
Feminism was about equality, about levelling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers.
The main goal of feminism was to infiltrate every system, every strata of society. That was the main goal because, as we all know, feminism came because women could not access the same rights and opportunities, the same rights and opportunities as men. Then the movement came and feminism was born. If feminism is for equal opportunities, equal rights for both men and women, for both boys and girls, then we women have come to a stage where we can now access education, we can now access so many things in society, good paid job, highly paid job. We can now ask, we can now negotiate for our salaries like the same as men can do. We can get to the highest level of education as we so desire. But then when she talks about how boys are being left behind because there is so much concentration, there is so much favor, there is so much feminist ideologies in every strata, in every aspect of the educational system, I beg to differ. Who are the ones who are in control of the resources? It's the men. The men are in control of the resources already. So if a man is laying back or is at a disadvantaged position, I think that's their choice, because in most societies, like in the Western world, it's a bit different, but in most developing societies, in most underdeveloped societies, people tend to favor to educate more boys than girls. But I don't know, what's your thoughts on this? Is she right that because we are so much more focused now on feminism, and we've created so many feminist ideologies that have infiltrated the educational systems, women are more advanced than men and boys are falling back? Is she right? From an African perspective, it's still really, the women are still falling back because women don't really have rights as much as their male counterparts, like access to education, access to decision making, access to high paid jobs, equal pay for equal job, for the same job. In some places, women cannot even travel without the permission of a male relative, their father or their husband. And also when it comes to jobs, women cannot choose jobs except the superior male of the family, maybe the husband, the father, or the brother, decides that they can go to do the job, And there is this common saying that a woman's place is in the kitchen. So it all depends, because feminism in the Western world is different from feminism in Asia. It's different from feminism in Africa. But then I'll tell you that from an African perspective, the males are still dominating the public sphere. They are the ones who are doctors, accountants, engineers. They are the ones who are in the government. You can see from the parliament, the parliamentarians, you can see in about 200 parliamentarians, you see just 5 women. So it's there, it's glaring. You can see the disparity is in front of us, But in the Western world, maybe she's right. Maybe she is right. But feminism is still well alive. Yeah, modern day feminism has morphed into this more and more radical form of feminism.
Okay, here's why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job, because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem...
Whoever the PR for feminism has to be fired. Because more and more girls are rejecting feminism. They don't want feminism anymore. What's the point? I've come across so many videos where, I mean, a lady was just talking about something about men. No, I think this lady was talking about how men also have emotional need. Men can be emotional, that we should also consider that men are emotional. Like in a case where a man and a woman has like a fight, and then the woman, the first thing, the best thing she can do is cry. So when she cries, many people are easily moved by her tears because they don't want to see a woman cry. But because the man is not crying, you won't know if he's also hurt. That's what the girl said. And there were so many comments, and like 200 or above 200 comments. Almost every woman in that comment section was saying that she's a pick me. I mean, what's pick me in that? Like someone saying that men also have emotional needs. What's the pick me in it? So I think she's somewhat right, because when you look at feminism, you feel that, okay, feminism is sister supporting sister, right? But we are so much against each other, like we as women, that it's so difficult for us to come to work in unison. And the main goal of feminism or fighting for women's rights should be about we can only work as a collective. We can only bring change as a collective, because if we don't work together, we can never bring the much needed change. So I think she's right. She's really right. What do you think about it? If you disagree with me, continue in the comment section. But if you like what I'm saying, give this video a thumbs up.
Seems so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing. I think that's why we're starting to see the trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so sick of the other side, so done with the angry, man-hating, putting women.
I kind of disagree with this point. She says that because so many women are rejecting the toxic form of feminism, trad wives is becoming more popular because people are so tired of this toxic form of feminism. They are turning into the direction of trad wives. But as we all know, I have videos on this. Trad wife is something that is not a reality in this age and time. It's not possible to be a trad wife, as we all know. So most of the influencers, the trad wife influencers online, are just putting up a show, and they're doing it because, okay, this is something that is winning, and it's like the opposite of the feminism, the toxic form of feminism, and people are more attracted to the trad wife rhetoric. So many people are attracted to that, but in reality, it's so difficult to be a trad wife in this age and time because in this economy, you don't want to be a trad wife. I mean, can you be a trad husband in this economy? Because if two incomes are coming in, it makes life more easier in this economy. I will keep saying in this economy because, if we keep thinking about trad wives and all, it's just a facade and it's just an illusion, It's something that is not real. It's not possible, So trying to make a point about feminism, why women are running away from feminism, and trying to say that they're running away from feminism and they're moving towards being trad wives, I don't think this is true. It's not true. If you disagree with this, please tell me why in the comment section. But if you like what I said, give it a thumbs up.
Down. Ugh, it's boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media. You can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women, because you don't, and a lot of people are seeing right through it.
How feminism has killed men's confidence, how feminism has made boys to fall back. Feminism is toxic and has made women to be against women, to be against each other. So now let's listen to these guys talk about feminism, their thoughts on feminism.
Is feminism still relevant in society today?
Feminism started out as women's rights. It has skewed into something entirely different than what it was. Modern feminism doesn't serve as much of a purpose as the original women's right movement.
Do you think feminism today hurts?
I think he's right, because I'm a gender studies major, women studies major. So in the course, when I started the course, I was so excited. I was super excited because I knew that this is what I wanted. And it was all about equal rights, equal opportunities for boys and girls, women having access to education, access to decision making, to resources, all that. I was so excited. But in the course of learning feminism, we learned about radical feminism and liberal feminism. So the radical feminism was always brushed aside as the bad feminism, while the liberal feminism was the good feminism, and that was what everyone wanted to be associated with, So, but then over time, I have watched feminism morphed into this monster that has its major aim is to demonize men. And I have seen a group of women, a huge group of women moving towards, I have seen women generally moving towards this toxic form of feminism, intentionally, knowingly or unknowingly. You have this rhetoric of, I don't need a man, I hate a man, I don't want a man. All these things do demonize men, and it's not good. This has really moved. It's now polarized to an extent that no one understands what feminism is all about. Even I, a gender studies major, I don't understand what feminism is all about today.
Or benefits women.
Modern feminism has put a lot of pressure onto women to get jobs. There's, I think, a large population of women who don't want to be working, who do want to be a mother and stay at home.
Modern feminism has pushed a lot of women to get jobs. When we talk about, when someone makes this kind of a statement, what comes to my mind is do they forget that the economic situation, inflation, right? And the capitalist system has forced women to go and get jobs, right? Because just one household income cannot survive the household, it's not enough for the household. You need 2 household incomes to enjoy life as a family, right? And if he's making this kind of statement without acknowledging the fact that this is also because, majorly because of the capitalist system and the continuous rise of the cost of living and the inflation and all that, then he's doing a disservice to his thoughts on modern feminism. What do you think?
I think it hurts women.
So would you say now today wanting to be a stay-at-home mom is actually demonized?
I would absolutely say that it is not a 100% accepted role.
We've come to a point where, let me be real. We've come to a point where it's not a matter of choice. Everyone can see, since 2020, after 2020, we could see that during the lockdown, so many women were at home taking care of the kids. And it became so hard for the family because immediately after the pandemic, right, the cost of living went up. Prices just shoot. The rents, the food, those basic needs, everything went up. And it's so hard for families to cope with one household income, right? So would someone with a family with kids, for instance, 2 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids with a husband, would they tell the mom to stay home to take care of the kids and the man go to work just to bring his paycheck is not enough to take care of the family? They cannot afford that. It's not possible to afford that kind of lifestyle. It's not in this age and time. I can go on and on and on. And I am an example, I am married, I have kids, I have a man. We work together. And because we both go out to work and we have double income in our home, we can afford to live. We can afford to pay for the most basic things in life, and also have some little excess to go on holidays and enjoy life. But without that, it's so expensive, so difficult, right? because every now and then the prices of petrol for the car goes up. The price in the prices of food in the shop, every week you go to the shop, the prices have increased, right? Everything is just going up. So how do we survive in this kind of economy and still be a stay-at-home mom? It's not a matter of choice. There's no choice in this economy. I think every time we talk about this, we should consider, we should also be mindful of the present state of things, of life. We should be mindful.
Women's rights, it has skewed into something entirely different than what it was. Modern feminism doesn't serve as much of a purpose as